Hey everybody, welcome back to When Word Show Music Speaks podcast with your handicapped host, James Cox. And I got another interview today. It's so good to have him here today. His band and him has been I've been a really big fan of his, and the band 12 Stones. Okay. So my guest today, today is an artist whose music has become a quiet refuge for people searching for the meaning without labels. As the voice of the 12 Stones, he's written songs that feel less like statements and more like conversations with the soul. Paul, how are you doing, buddy?
Man, I'm doing wonderful. I'm even better being here with you today. So
Oh,
thanks for
thank
having
you.
me.
Yeah. Well, it's Sunday, and I really wanted to thank you for coming on because usually I don't have interviews on Sundays because that's the day off, because it's
Yeah,
Sabbath, and
yeah,
a lot of people don't like. So I do want to thank you from the bottom of my heart to do this.
my pleasure. My
Yeah.
pleasure.
Yeah. You're in. Okay, so you were born in Mississippi, right?
Yep, born in
Uh,
Mississippi, live in Louisiana,
Okay.
Southern boy through and
Yeah.
through.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's funny. Me and Sean were talking earlier today, and just before I got on, and the weather out here is snowy, but it's going away. What's it like in Louisiana?
We're not cut out for the cold weather, and
No.
we had a show right around the corner from my house last night, and it was 22 degrees. So too cold for me, but luckily we haven't had any ice or snow yet, so I don't want to complain too loud for those that have been dealing with the elements here lately.
Right.
I'll put on some layers. I'll be fine.
There you go. Yeah, you could always put on more than you can take off.
Yeah,
Which is
absolutely.
true. Because I don't think anybody wants to see me naked around town. So that's pretty, but yeah, that's pretty wild. So yeah. So I've been listening to your album, Anthem for the Underdog, and it still rings true today, right? But the song I want to bring up the most is the song "World So Cold," right?
Mhm.
But that's still relevant now as it was today. What was your mindset going into creating that song then? That's still music that resonates still today.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think I was writing that song while we were actually in the studio recording the Anthem album. And for those that don't know much about the recording way things go, we don't all record at the same time. So the singers always go last. We have, they got to get the guitars, the drums, the bass, all the bells and whistles on there. So there's a lot of downtime early on for the singers, and instead of me annoying everyone in the studio, I got banished to the little lounge area. So I had my guitar with me, and there was just the TV on in the background, and I noticed just the news. It was just cycling, and there was just so much negativity in front of me, and I had the music for "World So Cold" written for a while, and then I just happened to look up, and I noticed all the crazy stuff on the news, and the song kind of just wrote itself in that moment, and I feel like we always expect to think, man, the world is a bad place. It's so rough, and I don't think that it gets better. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
seems like it it, it stays consistent at best. You know what I mean? So it's a song that I think has a life of its own, and I think it'll unfortunately it'll be relevant for quite a while. It's not one of those songs that's happy and joyful, but it does try to show a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, and trying to remind people to lead with love and to be responsible for their actions, and to try
Yeah.
to take care of one another, because we only got this one life, and it's a shame to see how many get cut short just by someone having a bad day.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree because but I've been told by a lot of musicians that because they obviously travel the world more than I do, obviously, that I've been told that there's a lot more nice people on Earth than there is hateful people because I don't know what it is about the news, but they always like to propose hateful stuff. Hate sells for some reason. I don't know why. But I hear
Yeah.
there's a lot good than bad here on Earth. But we'll never know because we always pay attention to the news.
Yeah, and they always say like, there was a thing they used to do in like schools and churches and stuff to show the power of positive versus negative. It's like you have someone stand on a chair, and it's easier to pull them off the chair than it is for them to pull you up onto it. So
Yeah,
a lot of times I think being hateful and angry is an easy route, and it's easier to be mad and blame everybody else for your problems than it is to try to lift them up and make them feel better about their situations.
exactly, exactly. So, all right, cool. Um, so I would imagine that you are a big WWE fan because you worked with them, right, in the
Yeah,
past.
we work with him quite a bit, actually, a lot in the back in the day. I was a wrestling fan when I was much younger. My guitar player John is a diehard wrestling
Mhm.
fan,
Yeah,
and he's all about it. So yeah, man, we've gotten very fortunate to get to work with them in and out over the years, and write some songs, some entrance themes, and some stuff. Got to go to the Slammies one year and
right on. Yeah,
hang out and meet the King and meet we have to meet the Nexus and one of the cameramen for the WWE named Rico is just a fantastic guy. He was a fan of the band, saw that we were there, came over and talked to us, and then he took us on a backstage tour. So we got I've actually got a Nexus armband from
oh,
them from back in the day. It wouldn't have fit on my thigh, but
oh no,
yeah,
right, yeah.
yeah, it was pretty
Yeah.
wild.
So okay, so how did that work? Did the WWE contact you to like because you did a lot of stuff with them? You did the Nexus theme song. I forget which song that was. It was
We are one.
"We Are One." Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Yep.
sir. And you did "Broken." That was the official theme for Judgment Day, correct?
Yeah, it was. That was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I believe our first record label, Wind Up Records, I believe they had a pretty strong relationship with the WWE.
Mm,
I know that there was a lot of wind up artists that did some work with them. So I think that's kind of that relationship kind of helped spill into our world and get us a little bit more opportunities. And honestly, we love to have our music in any kind of high energy,
right.
high, intensity type stuff, whether it be a movie, wrestling, whatever it is. We're always happy to lend our loud noises to them.
Yeah. Um, "We Are One" was off of one of your albums, right? So, okay, so first question I have for you is: did you work specifically with Jim Johnston since he was the lead musical producer there? And why, if if you didn't, why did they go with one of your album songs as opposed to y'all creating a brand new song for Nexus or like because I understand the pay per view theme, but with Nexus it's like that song is off of one of your albums, correct?
Yeah, so we have worked with Jim a few times on some other works. Like I've done a couple of themes with him, but this one we actually wrote. We took a trip, the band and I. We took a trip to Coronado, California, and we got to go hang out with a bunch of Navy SEALs and kind of get a outside looking in glimpse of what they do on a
Yeah,
day to day, going through SEAL through buds training and.
yeah,
Extremely
that's
intense,
insane,
but
right?
just
Yeah,
watching these guys and do their thing and commit so hard for their country was pretty amazing. So after that experience, we got a book given to us while we were there, and the name of the book was "The Only Easy Day Was Yesterday," and it was like the theme of the Navy
yeah,
SEALs. So we named our 5-song EP "The Only Easy Day Was Yesterday," and
okay,
"We Are One" was written about our experience with meeting the Navy SEALs
yeah,
and just seeing how much they give for this country and how much they are willing to sacrifice for this country, and it was a thing, so it made me feel like we're all one thing, we're all
yeah,
together. So we wrote the song as a tribute to the Navy SEALs and that experience that we had, and I think it resonated through a bunch of different groups, whether it be
yeah,
wrestling or different military branches and stuff. So yeah, that I think that's why they took it as it, and with the Nexus being a group that a bunch of different wrestlers that came together to make the
yeah,
Nexus. I think it was
perfect,
a fitting
yeah,
trend there.
Yeah. Yeah, not to degrade anybody in the military, because my dad's a retired colonel. I think that the being Navy SEAL, you have to get like twice as hard as twice harder training than any other, because you got to go sea, air, and land. You can't just focus on one thing like the Army, Air Force. So I really give total respect to anybody that's a SEAL. But I don't degrade anybody else in the military because we're all needed.
Absolutely.
But I think that that
Absolutely.
that that the Navy SEALs have a I guess a pretty strict training stuff going on. Is that true from what you gathered at when you're talking with the SEALs?
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
absolutely insane. And it makes you realize what the human body is capable of and how powerful our minds are that we can, we can say being not a Navy SEAL, I can say that the phrase mind over matter, it's a general common phrase. When you see what they go through, you realize that the mind is just an amazing, amazing thing, and
Yeah.
it can make or break you for sure. So we
Yeah.
got to do a couple of like the obstacle course little things, and they actually let us take one of the boats out into the ocean through the surf. Where just the band, we got in there, and they were like, most of the guys on their first time out, they flipped the boat getting into the waves.
Right.
Not only did we not flip the boat, but we got it turned around and rode it right back into shore. And the instructors were like, "Oh, wait till we tell these guys that you guys didn't flip the boat. Oh,
Right.
they're gonna get it. The next Navy SEAL that flips a boat." And I'm like, "Oh no."
Oh no.
So yeah, we
Yeah.
survived, man. We got
Yeah.
through one of the little tiny little challenges there, and we thought we were hot stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like hell, you were. But you didn't do anything that they did, so yeah, that's a
Right,
big up on you, man. Hell yeah.
right,
So,
right.
but going back to WWE real fast, so
Mhm.
working with WWE, did that allow more avenues or more partnerships to work with you? Because when they see that big name WWE, that's worldwide. And
Yeah, absolutely. That there was a very, very good thing for our career to have a partnership with them, and we got a lot of thanks to Wind Up for making that connection for us. And yeah, throughout the years, I mean, we've gotten movies. We actually had the theme song one of the years for ESPN's World's Strongest Man series.
yeah,
Um, we actually shot a video in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, at one of our favorite venues, the Varsity. We shot a video there for that, and it was used in the opening scene of a couple seasons of the World's Strongest Man show. So I think the wrestling connection definitely helped us in a lot of other avenues.
yeah. Awesome, yeah, yeah, because WWE is huge, and it's great that you got to work with them and be, I guess, work with a lot of partnerships that you probably wouldn't have worked with before. So that's awesome, yeah. So, so while I was researching you, I know something that a lot of people don't know, and correct me if I'm wrong. This might be brought up before, but you never set out to be the front man of anything. Um, you didn't want to be the the lead singer, correct?
I always wanted to be a drummer, but I don't have the
Drummer,
skill
yeah.
set. Yeah, my limbs don't work independently enough to
Right.
to do that. So
Oh, yeah,
so
mine don't
yeah.
either. Yeah, yeah, mine doesn't either. But how did that responsibility change who you are off stage?
Um, Honestly, it's I'm in real life. I have a lot of social anxiety. I've got a lot of things that don't make me the most outgoing person. And I'm sober 7 years, but prior to being sober, I used all of that to be able to interact with human beings on a high level. And now it makes it a lot harder. Sobriety makes it harder for me to make those adjustments in life and be as interactive. But becoming the persona on stage and becoming the character that I am on stage, that really breaks the ice for me, and it separates me from my home self, if that makes any sense. Where I
Right,
can I can go out and you know scream and yell in people in friends and family's faces, and
right,
jump around, eye rolls, and make crazy faces, and then I get to come home and be regular Paul with my wife and my dogs, and just be happy that I get the opportunity to do those things. So yeah, I mean, I think not really wanting the spotlight early on has turned it into a place where I'm much more comfortable in my own skin,
Yes.
knowing that there's a separation between on stage and off persona.
Right. Right. Um, so I'm sorry, I just got a call, but that's
No
okay.
worries, man.
It's fine. Yeah. Yeah. But I'm sorry. So okay. So I also really quickly if I'm wrong again, but you started playing guitar when you were 10, I believe, right?
Yeah, I was pretty young.
Yeah.
I know I got my first official guitar for Christmas when I
Yeah.
was 13 or 14, and I blew it up that day. I blew my amp up
Oh
first
no.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I turned all the knobs up. I wanted to see what it could do, and I played it till the smoke came out, you know?
Yeah,
So,
good, great. Yeah, I'm sure you drove your parents crazy, right? Hell yeah,
oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, for sure.
But before then, I want to go back to before you playing guitar. I also researched you and I found out that you were bullied back in back in elementary school or something, and you found music, and I guess music led you to, you know, getting out of that bully stage
Yeah,
for
I
like
was I
yeah,
was bullied pretty hard. I had a tumor in my left ear when I was very young, so I've had like 15 surgeries on this ear. I'm deaf in this ear.
yeah.
And so for me, I always had like um it was just a weird thing. I would have like drainage from the surgeries and stuff coming out. So, kids are ruthless.
Oh yeah,
So it,
yeah.
it, it made me form a tough outer shell, and it made me almost turned me into like a little vigilante. I wanted to stand up for all the underdogs and
Yeah.
take on all comers, and it made me a little rough around the edges, coming up, and but it gave me character. I know people
Yeah.
always that's like an easy thing to say, but it definitely taught me how to realize the inhumane abilities of humans.
Yeah.
Like people can be so cruel and hurtful and hateful. So that's, I think, kind of what forced me into writing music, where it be just writing thoughts down and trying to process through things. Um, I wrote my first song when I was 13, and I played it in front of my church group. And I remember having the lyrics on the little music stand in front of me, and I wouldn't look away. I was shaking. I was
Oh
vibrating
no.
like a leaf on
Yeah.
a tree. I was so scared, and just reading the lyrics and trying not to mess it up. And I still can channel that energy when we go on stage these days, because I'm able to tap into that younger version of myself and be like, "Hey, look, man, here we are 25 years later. You went
Right.
from shaking life with a leaf to now,
Lethal.
playing sold out shows in your hometown." So, it's good to reflect on how far you've come in life.
Exactly. Yeah. And I guess that's where the title "Anthem for the Underdog" came about. Looking back to your days being bullied, and you're like, I don't want to ever have anybody else do that to anybody. So this album is for them. Correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's just
Yeah.
that the album artwork you notice is just a bunch of people forming one big
Fist.
entity
Yeah.
to take on the shadow monster in the darkness. So
Right.
it's kind of the same theme with We Are One. It's just like it's all about us coming together as human beings and trying to be better individually so that we can be better as the whole.
Right. Right. Okay, so you mentioned this before. You lived with partial hearing loss, most of your life, correct?
Yeah, I was
Um,
born with I think my first set of tubes at 3 months old or
three
something.
months. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you think that limitation actually shaped your voice and songwriting in ways that most people wouldn't expect it?
Yeah, so for me, this is how I've always heard, so this feels normal to me.
Yeah.
My head would probably explode if I heard like everyone else, at least in the beginning, right? But so I always try to explain to people, as a singer, my voice naturally resonates a lot louder in my own head. It's if if you have full hearing and you take a finger and plug up one of your ears, you notice your voice becomes a lot more internal and a lot louder on the inside. So I kind of have a built-in monitoring system for playing live. So when we play live in my monitor mixes, I really don't have much of my vocal because I'm already pretty loud in my head, especially when I'm screaming or
Oh
going
yeah.
for the high notes.
Yeah.
So I'm able to then have just nothing but guitars, and most sound guys love me. They're like, "Wait, what?" I'm like, "No, I don't need any vocals in my monitors." Most singers just want to hear themselves so loud, and I'm like, I don't, I got that covered. So yeah, it's like a weird little superpower, these days. Is kind of how I try to look at it.
Right. Yeah. It's amazing because, like what you just said, I've been born and handicapped, and that's all I knew, so it's normal to me. So I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. So that's kind of cool and weird at the same time. We feel normal, but to the outside world, we're different. I mean, you can actually see my disability with you. It's I mean, I wouldn't know that, unless I research you.
I mean, I think individuality is awesome. I think whether it's because of a disability or a choice or whatever it is, I think if everybody was the same, it would be boring, and then
Yeah,
nothing would be accomplished.
yeah,
I love when I meet people at shows and just out in general, and I just see someone that's just a ball of light, just a ball of energy. Like I can feel people's energies a mile away. So
yeah.
for me, being more of like an empath, I feel the ability to like I pick up on your energies, and I love the fact that good people are good people. You know what I mean? And then it just makes bad people make me like good people even more. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yes,
So
exactly.
I
Right.
I,
Yeah.
I tell everybody just embrace your own self. We get labeled as like a Christian band all the time, and I'm like that's not really ever what we were going for. But if you take our music and you get something positive out of it, whether in a religious sense or in a secular sense, I just happy you're getting something positive out of what we're trying to
Yeah.
to do. And I think that's kind of the root of what we've done is writing songs for these last 25 years is try to offer something positive, even with a heavy, music, something heavy, some screaming, some stuff. But we always try to find a way to make a positive message out of it.
Right. Well, you mentioned something that I was going to ask you anyway about the Christian rock and metal that people assume that you are. So you're labeled as like rock metal, Christian rock, right? But
Yeah.
y'all didn't want to. Y'all kind of strayed away from Christian, that label, like you just said. Could you explain to us why you took that route? And because I know, I mean, you enjoy Christian music as much as I do, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So the 12 Stones band. Why did you feel that wasn't uh, like a Christian oriented band as opposed to regular rock? You know what
I
I'm
mean, I
saying?
guess yeah, I
Okay.
guess for me, I didn't want to pigeonhole us into
Okay.
just a little area because a lot of times, Christian music gets a bad rap,
Yeah.
as being cheesy or like, you know, whatever. And for me, like I grew up in the church, and a lot of my lyrics do have religious undertones,
Yeah.
but a lot of it is like questioning, and it's like try to make people like, man. You got to figure out what you believe, don't just blindly follow just
Yeah.
because it's easy to do. So also not everybody in the band shared the same vision. So for
Right.
me, it's hard to have a guy or two in the band that has no religious affiliations or ideologies at all to
Yeah.
make them be a member of a Christian band. So
Yeah.
I just wanted people to hear our music and take out of it what they wanted to get out of it.
Yeah.
Again, if people hear our music and get religious positivity out of it, I'm great with
That's
that. I
great.
have no
Yeah.
problem with that at all. And if they hear it and they get something completely else out of it and they think it's about a relationship or whatever else, I'm great with that too. I'm
Yeah.
just happy that people are listening at all.
Yeah. So you write music for the fans, not primarily because I know they're from your thoughts and your mind and the experiences here, you know. But do you write it specifically for them, or whatever they can get? It's good for them. You express, you know.
Yeah, for me, I always write the music first. So I always have a guitar, somewhere nearby,
Yeah, yeah. So
my phone
you're
is full of
yeah,
voice memos
yeah,
and all that. But I always write the music first, and I don't really ever go into a song with like a blueprint or a game plan. I try to let it happen organically. There's some times where I have a piece of music that I really like, but I just can't find the right melody or the right
yeah,
lyrics, and I'll just let that sit. I've had songs that were 15 years old before they ever got put into a studio. So I try not to rush the process, and I try to be real with my lyrics and open and just things from my personal experiences that I think other people can relate to. And when it happens and there's that connection, it's very powerful, not only for me, but I think for the listener as well. When I see posts all the time, and say, hey, one of your songs got me through some dark times in life, or,
yeah,
this song helped me get through this and that. And that's what it's for, and from not only the listener but for myself. Like I said before, performing live and writing music, that's my personal therapy session. That's what
yeah,
helps me cope with my demons and my everyday struggles, is to just write it down and put it out there. And once the song is there, I still feel the same way now, 25 years later, singing songs like Broken and The Way I Feel from the first record.
yeah.
I still am able to channel that energy from the day one
So when you
every
wrote
time
it,
we play
yeah,
that song, and I'm able to uh, put myself back in that place to really, make the
yeah,
song what it's supposed to be. I don't want to phone it in and everybody be like, all right, we've done this song 8 million times. Here it is. I genuinely love that I get the opportunity to do this and have the chance to play songs that are,
yeah.
25, 30 years old.
Nice, nice. Well, yeah, music is very therapeutic for everybody, you know. And for I don't believe the people who are say I don't really like music. You like music, you just don't want to admit it, you know. And I don't know why, because music is world known, and does such good things for your mind and brain and health, you know. So
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. Speaking of fans and songs with them, um, which 12 Stone song surprised you most by deeply how it meant to somebody else? Like any fans come up and one particular song that everybody gravitates toward. What's that song that people
I
turn
mean,
to?
I feel like I see a lot of people connecting with song This Dark Day. It's
Okay.
about, my struggle with addictions and
Yeah.
trying to overcome the hurdles that life throws at us. So I guess I feel like they have the deepest emotional connection to that. Maybe not in quantity, but in quality of like the conversations I've been able to have with people. Another one is The Way I Feel,
Yeah.
a song I
That's a
wrote
great
when I was
song. Yeah.
an angsty teenager, and I still feel that way today. So, yeah, I think those kind of songs, we have a lot. It's kind of weird when I ask people online all the time, like, hey, what song should I record and do an acoustic version of? And it's rarely the same song. It's like we just get people reaching, we got 7 albums worth of material, and we get a lot of people wanting to hear a whole bunch of different stuff. So
Right.
it's kind of cool that they spread it out over the catalog.
Yeah. And I'm sure it's always hard when you go to like new tours. Like, what's the set list is going to be? You know, should we do this? You know, it's always different. You know, right?
And it's crazy
Yeah.
cool depending on what bands we're playing with too. Like there's some bands that might be a little lighter, and we have a lot of songs that are mid tempo, and we can
Yeah.
do that. Or we can go like we're going on tour this summer with Power Man 5000.
Yes,
They're
I love it.
they're
Yeah.
gonna be they're gonna be
Yeah.
insane to play with. So we're gonna have to bring out all the big guns. We're gonna
Right.
have to come
Yeah.
out with some intensity and try to get the crowd hyped up for those guys. And we're
Yeah.
excited to do that. So yeah, to me, we've got enough songs now where we can pretty much change the set list based on
Yeah.
where we're at.
Yeah. And it's cool because you got a big catalog. Like you can. Have you ever made two set lists for like 2 days? Like completely different set lists for like this day or that day, or do you don't normally stick to like one set list throughout the whole tour?
Well, we have in the past had a very flexible set list. When we had our longest tenured lineup, we had, it was me, Eric, Justin Reimer, Aaron Gaynor, Kevin Darr. That lineup, we were together the longest, so we were able to play anything in the catalog. Now I have a bunch of new guys in the band, and so we're a little bit more limited on what we can play just on based off of what material I can get them to learn in the amount of time they have to learn it. So,
Yeah, yeah, nice. Yeah.
these days we stick to more of a,
Oh, did I lose you for a minute?
yeah, it was just a little glitch. That's in the
Okay,
background.
it's fine. I'll edit it out. It's
No
fine.
worries, no
Okay.
worries.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so I would like to do I do have three more questions after this. We're gonna do like a lightning round first, and then I got like three more questions, and then
Cool.
we'll let you go because I hey
Hey, buddy.
I don't know. It's weird, dude. I don't know. Yeah, it's maybe it's this weather that's kicking our asses
Yeah,
over here, but I don't know. But I'm
it
so sorry.
could be.
Yeah.
All good,
It's
man. No worries.
okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. Well, like I said before, we got three more questions, but I really want to go with you through like a lightning round, if you don't mind.
Let's do it.
So I'm going to just ask you a question, and you can do one or two, or like give me your what your thoughts on it. Okay. So
Okay.
all right. So first one is a lyric that you wrote but still hits too close.
Um, hmm. I
Yeah.
feel like with Crash, it's like I feel like I'm falling farther every day, but I know that you're there watching over me. I think that's always a good one to know that
Mm,
we all have a little guardian angel on our shoulder.
yeah. Yeah, that's what I hope we are. We do, because every time I'm like, I don't, because there's a lot of moments where tradition, yells at me and like something's pulling me back. So I know that you and I do have guardian angels for sure. So
Absolutely.
all right, silence or distortion?
Uh, Silence. I
Silence.
drive. I'll do a 12-hour drive with nothing.
Nothing.
The guys in my band think I'm insane because I,
Yeah.
I drive everywhere. So they're all in the back with headphones or even playing the
Yeah.
guitar, and I'm just my
Yeah.
my brain is so noisy.
Yeah.
Uh, my head is loud as it is, so my thoughts are a million miles an hour. So yeah, any external noise is just that at that point, unless I'm like working on music or I'm in the gym or something where I need that extra noise. But for the most part, I'll keep it quiet.
Nice. Nice. All right. Next one is studio or stage?
Stage,
Stage, yes, I
hands
love you for
down.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm not the studio guy. I feed off the energy of the room. So for me, it's much better for me to be able to scream and
yeah,
emote than it is to be in a soundproof box with headphones on,
yeah.
trying to make sure that I'm not too loud or too close, or
Right.
I'm much stage is the win for sure.
Also, for the fans, I think that the stage is better for us because as performers, you get to do whatever you want to on stage. Studio, you have to like perfect it and home it in. Because
Yep.
because I remember watching Disturbed way back when, and they sound exactly like their CD. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear all
Right.
the, all what you can bring towards the live, because I saw you live. I want to see you live and not in studio.
Right.
I could
Exactly.
have it, and that's just something you don't get with the studio that you can with live. Because live is very sporadic.
Right. Right.
So yeah. Oh, all right. So the emotion you try hardest not to write about.
Uh, I guess the emotion I try hardest not to write about is sadness, but I think that's the one that shows up the most. You know what I mean? It's like the things we try to oppress are the things that show up.
Yeah.
So, I'm a pretty high strung, angry dude. You know, I got a lot of chips on my shoulder, but
Right. Yeah. We all do. Right.
I use the stage for that outlet. You know, so I don't explode on someone in Walmart for no reason. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I try to use the stage as my therapy for that. But yeah, I try to avoid the sadness. But I think when I'm the saddest and I'm in the darkest place is when I write the brightest music, if that
Yeah.
makes any sense.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Right. Uh, 3 words to describe your band. 12 Stones.
Uh, Real, loud, and positive.
Nice. All those are great. All those are positive. You know. So
Yes,
I love you for that. Yeah. So
indeed.
all right. Okay. So we're gonna do 3 more questions, but I do want to thank you so much for coming on our show. It's first show on Sunday. Um.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're gonna go all the way back in time. Okay. We're gonna go with Paul McCoy when he was like 14, 15, 16. Okay. We're looking in your room. We're looking at the walls. Okay. Is there any musical posters? And if so, who are they? Who are they of?
I don't know that I had any band posters, but I would have had a Silverchair poster
Silverchair.
if it was
Yes.
available. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, I fell in love with the Frog Stomp record when I
Yes.
realized that
Yeah.
I was in junior high and I realized that the guys that I was listening to were my same age.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how are y'all doing this? And I'm sitting in Spanish class in junior high. So
Exactly.
that pivoted
Yeah.
me from wanting to be, because I played soccer my whole life.
Uh,
And I always thought I was going to be a professional soccer player. So then as soon as I heard that record, it just put the brakes on all of that
yeah.
and made me turn into like, how do I make music for a living? And
Well,
I'm thankful for that record.
well, is it true that your band got signed before you graduated high school? Did I read
I
that
got
right?
signed when I was 19, so
Okay.
I had just graduated high school. My bass
Okay.
player Kevin was 18, so he was still wrapping up
Right.
school. But yeah,
Okay.
we're right out of high school.
Nice. Well, I mean, you almost I guess you're like toe to toe with Silverchair then, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
with
yeah.
that whole yeah.
We were a few years after them in age, but yeah, we were definitely lucky enough to be able to start this career at a very young
Right.
age and
Yeah.
set my mind on something and get after it.
Yeah. Freak Show was a great album too. I still
Hmm.
don't know which one I like better, but I'm gonna say Frog Stomp was a little bit better, you know, because Israel's Son, Tomorrow, and
Hmm.
it's just perfect album, you know,
Yeah, I
perfect
love
album.
it, front to
Yeah,
back for sure.
yeah, yeah. So okay, so 4 bands that you um 4 of your favorite. Okay, so we can do like a Mount Rushmore of your 4 favorite bands. You have 4 of them. If you need to,
Okay.
we can do 5, but but let's try 4.
Um,
Okay, yeah. So
I'd say right now,
yes,
uh, I'm a big fan of Wage War. I love what they're
which
doing.
one? Yeah,
I think they're really good. Melodies, heavy riffs, really good. Memphis Mayfire's another one I've been listening to a lot lately. Um, Man, so many
yeah,
good ones out. Um, Trying to think of what I got in my headphones pretty
yeah,
much all the time. I'm in writing mode, so I'm not even really trying not to listen to too much outside of
right. Yeah.
my own stuff, so I don't
Well,
overstep any
well,
lines there.
well. Here's a quick question for you. So back then, what could you tell how your influence changed from like 90s Paul to 2025 Paul? Did it change that much, or did you? Because when I was little, my parents brought me up on country, right, and then Metallica came.
Same.
And well, okay, good. You like country? Yes, I love you for that. Yeah, yeah. But when high school came, it was Metallica and Megadeth all the way through high school, right? And now I'm back to country and all the others, right? So, did the influences change for you over that I guess tenure of being? in your
I think it
music?
maybe evolved more than changed. You know,
Okay,
like I
yeah,
said, I grew up when I was living in Mississippi at a very young age. Um, there were no rock stations where I was at, and my dad's a big country music guy, and he always said there's two types of music, son, country and western. You know, so it
I
was
love
like,
him for that. Yeah,
so I actually learned singing and learned how to shape a melody from old school country. And if it's any time after Garth Brooks, I don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? It's got to be the Garth era, Clint
yeah.
Black, those
Reba
guys, Travis
McIntyre,
Tritt,
yeah, Dolly Parton,
Reba,
yeah, Dolly
Queen.
Parton, yeah, oh
Uh,
yeah.
all those amazing people. I think Garth Brooks was the first real rock star I ever saw. I saw one
Yeah,
of his specials where he was swinging through the arena and smashing guitars, and I
he's
was just
crazy.
like,
He was crazy back then,
what is
dude. Right?
this? So then I found bands like Silverchair, and I'll tell you, the first time I heard Alice in Chains, it
Oh my
uh
God,
it
yeah.
flipped a switch in me, and
Mhm.
it made me go like, wow, they have these dark, haunting, soulful melodies, but there's two singers, and that just pulled me right into the Seattle era, the
Yeah,
grunge in the '90s, and then it just I ran from it from there, with it from there, and all the legends, all the greats, Nirvana and all that, and
yeah.
so to me, yeah, I think it went from country because that was what was available, and then my ears found Alice in Chains, and I was like, oh wow, and then that turned into whatever progressed from there, going to Deftones
Def, I
and
mean, I look,
Limp
I
Bizkit, one of
love
the best live shows ever, you know what I mean? So I stand by
Deftones.
that.
I've seen them twice, and they always amazed me. I haven't seen them in a
Yeah.
long time. Because they used to come to House of Blues over in Myrtle Beach. But man,
Oh
they
yeah.
can really kill the show. They're great. They're great. So
I love that House of Blues. We went to a little gator farm
yes,
after one of our shows
yes.
there. We went over there. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I went there one time and I got sun poisoned because
Oh no.
I didn't do the lotion or
Oh yeah.
the sun was bright as hell. I'm like, oh my God! So don't ever get sun poisoned. It's
Oh, I'll
bad,
try not to. Yeah,
right?
for real.
Yeah, put some sun lotion on when you go outside. Yeah, so
Yes,
all right.
indeed.
So we got one more question for you, and this is the hardest question we're asking you today. Hopefully, you can knock it out of the park, which I'm sure you can.
All
Okay, so
right.
is there one artist, song, or band that you can listen to right now, but you can't tell me, your wife, or anybody else how it makes you feel deep inside your soul?
Um, maybe.
Okay.
Um, I feel like I'm one of those guys that I like the collection. I try not to hone in on one thing and too much, but yeah, man. That is a tough one. That is a tough
Yeah.
one.
Well, come on back and we'll figure it out. Because
I love it. Yes,
you're
indeed.
welcome
Happy
back
to do so.
anytime. And one thing before you go is if someone right now is listening right now who feels overlooked or worn down, been bullied before, like you and me, what do you hope your music reminds them of? I know like it's positivity music, but is there something deeper that you want to tell them right now?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I got your back. You're not alone. To this day, I still go to therapy. I still struggle with depression and social anxiety on a pretty massive level, and it's always been helpful to me to know that I'm not alone, that I have other
Yeah,
people. And it's not that I would wish that other people are in the same boat, but it's comforting to know that I'm not here alone. So yeah, just know that we've got your back, and we want you to feel seen and heard and appreciated, because we're all special, and we all have a light to shine, and sometimes it gets a little dirty and it's hard to see the little glimmer, but it's still there. You just got to dig deep, and I know that you're part of our team.
there you go, brother. Well, I greatly appreciate you, like I said before, and I beg you to come back anytime. And hopefully, Soil Films will come here to Columbia, South Carolina. And and
Yeah, we
and we'll
love
be
that.
able to meet. I don't know if
Absolutely.
I don't know if the Power Man 5000 tour is coming here, but You never know, you know.
I know John and I, my guitar player, are doing an acoustic tour in the end of February in the Carolinas. I'm not sure how close we'll be there, but
Oh, well,
I'll take a look
I
at the
will,
website.
dude. If you tell me when and where, and I'll be there. If it's
Awesome.
anywhere in South Carolina, I will come to you. Okay.
Perfect.
All
Perfect.
right.
Yeah, we're coming up there in the March. So just check out our website. We got all the dates listed there. But we're definitely hitting the Carolinas at the end of February.
Okay. And also, for thank you for mentioning your website. It's 12stones.com. You could go there to buy all your merchandise. You have shirts right now, and if you want handwritten 12 Stone lyrics, they're there too, right?
Yep, I do do a lot of those. It's been a really cool thing to have. I'll let people pick any 12 Stone song and I'll handwrite them for you on a nice heavy piece of paper that
Yeah.
you can frame up, make them personalized however you want. So um, it's been a really cool thing that people are enjoying. So I'm
Yeah.
happy to do those for
Well,
anybody that wants one.
well, I'm definitely going to order me one soon because
Awesome.
man, your music is great, you know. And for
Appreciate you.
people listening, you can find them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, anywhere you get music from. Right.
That's it. You're
All
out
right.
everywhere.
All right, brother. Yeah, like I said before, come back anytime you want to, okay?
Be
And
my pleasure.
I will come to you if you come anywhere in the South Carolina. So
Okay, yeah, we'll be up there. We'll be up there in about a month or so.
cool. I will constantly check on your website for you, okay?
All right, brother.
All right,
Thank you so
brother.
much for your time.
Yes, sir. And with that
All right.
said, everybody, thank you for listening. And always remember, when words fail, music speaks. Bye, guys.